Ma'am. No, I don't care. See my mom. Go with your mom.
Those words came from a 20-year-old girl who had just watched her mother shoot her brother in cold blood. And the most chilling part. She meant every single word. Before we get into this, drop a comment and let me know where in the world you are watching from. Cold Case Unearthed is just getting started and we are trying to hit our first 100 subscribers. If you have been lurking, now is the time. Every single sub counts and it takes 2 seconds. Now let's get into it. These are 20-year-old Zamaya and 18-year-old Janisha. Two sisters. And on this particular afternoon they watched something no child should ever have to witness. Their own mother pulled the trigger on their brother. By the time police arrived, the scene was already chaos. A young man down on the ground outside, bleeding and struggling to breathe. And standing right over him was his mother. Not panicking. Not running. Just standing there. And before officers could even get a full picture of what they had just walked into, she gave them the answer herself.
I was in my car, I shot him.
Just like that. Before anyone asked. Before anyone accused her of anything. She volunteered it. Officers immediately began trying to control the scene. But this was not a clean situation. Emotions were at an absolute breaking point. People were screaming. The apartment had not been cleared yet. And the gun. The gun that had just put a young man on the ground. Was still somewhere out there unaccounted for.
Hey, we need to get these two separated and held on to. You want to hold on to the girl there in the gray? Yeah. Nobody's else upstairs?
With medics still on the way, officers started CPR on Jihad right there on the ground outside his own home. Trying to figure out exactly where he had been hit while simultaneously trying to manage a scene that was completely falling apart around him.
Looks like through the shoulder, toward the center.
Now here is something the initial chaos made easy to overlook. The scene had not been secured. The gun had not been recovered. And even with Landra openly admitting she fired the shot, officers could not assume the danger was over. Not with emotions this high. Not with this many people. So they did what they had to do.
This high.
Hey, we need to get these two separated and held on to.
Zamaya was barely able to stand. She could hardly form a sentence. The shock of what she had just witnessed was written all over her face. But once she had a moment to breathe. Once officers got her away from the immediate chaos. She became one of the most critical witnesses in this entire case. And what she said next started painting a picture that completely reframed everything.
Is in the case.
You guys been fighting all day?
No, my mom, she's crazy, bro.
Your mom's crazy?
She's crazy, like, no, it's not funny, please don't laugh.
I'm not.
She's crazy. She always have her episodes and she just start doing too much, hitting people.
She's like legit crazy? How'd she get the gun?
She got out the car after they were Jihad, because she was trying to stab him at first. We were trying to get this knife away from her, so Jihad slammed her on the floor and was holding her down because she kept trying to hit him. And at first, she was trying to come in the house with the gun, but I locked her out the house and I wouldn't open the door. And then she went downstairs and I was telling Jihad he was getting his stuff to leave, and I was telling him, God, stay in the house, because I know how she is, but I didn't think she would shoot her own son. I was telling Jihad, stay in the house. She said she's not going to do anything to me.
Now hold on. Because there is a lot inside that statement that needs to be unpacked carefully. This did not begin with a gun. According to Zamaya, it started inside the apartment. Where Landra had already come at Jihad with a knife. A knife. And during that struggle, hot oil from a pan sitting on the kitchen stove spilled all over the floor, making an already violent situation spiral even further out of control. And even after all of that. Even after the knife. Even after the hot oil. Even after watching his mother come at him inside their own home. Jihad still did not believe she would actually shoot him. That tells you everything about how unthinkable this moment was. Even to the people living inside it. 5 minutes later he was on the ground with a bullet in his back. Now Zamaya gave officers the shape of what happened inside that apartment. But it was her younger sister Janisha whose statement pushed this case into completely different territory. Because Zamaya described the events. But Janisha revealed the intent. Now pay attention here. Because what Janisha told detectives next is the single most important sentence in this entire case. But before we get there, let's walk through exactly what she saw from the beginning.
Pulled the trigger.
So you walk us through what happened?
I was laying down in my bed and I just woke up. I heard my mom come in and she was complaining about her car. And she asked my brother what he did to her car, but she just got her car fixed from a man. And he was ignoring her. and then I think she had hit him or something, and I came out the room and they were just like kind of tussling a little bit.
Do you think she hit him, or did you see him?
I know she hit him because he kept telling her she's not a kid anymore, she can't hit him.
Okay.
And they were like tussling in the kitchen.
Her and Jihad?
Yeah, and she grabbed a knife. I tried to stop it, but Jihad told me to get back. He got the knife out of her hand and he slammed her on the floor. He was just holding her down. And I forgot what happened. She grabbed like a pan. It had grease in it, and it like fell, like it spilled all over the kitchen floor. And then she had stormed out of the house. She went in the car. She went to go get her gun, but we locked her out. Ooh, at that point, Maya was in the kitchen with me as well. But she had woke up, rushed out her room, and she went in her car. She got the gun. Maya stood by the door and held it. So she wouldn't come in the house, and she was outside screaming and crying because she was upset. And then I called 911. I told them to come. I didn't tell them that she had a weapon because I didn't want them to shoot her. They pulled up. We were in the house. We were just chilling. We thought she put the gun back in her car, and John said he didn't want to stay there until they got there because they were kind of taking a minute. So we walked outside, and I heard the gunshot and I heard him scream. And
now pause right there. Janisha called 911 during the incident. She deliberately did not mention the weapon because she was terrified the police would shoot her mother. That one decision, made out of love for a woman who was in the process of killing her brother. That is the kind of detail that reminds you these were real people caught in something completely beyond their control. But here is what matters most in Janisha's account. And this is the part that changed everything for investigators.
I'm sorry.
How did you know she was getting gun?
Because she said, I'm going to show you something. And I knew she was getting her gun. She don't keep her gun in the house. She keeps it in her car.
I'm gonna show you something. Now pay attention to why those 4 words matter so much. Because they completely destroyed any argument that this was a heat-of-the-moment reaction. Think about what had to happen between that sentence and the gunshot. Landra had to say those words. Walk out of the apartment. Cross to the car. Open it. Retrieve the weapon. And come back outside armed. While Jihad was still inside gathering his belongings to leave. That is not a split-second decision. That is not blind rage with no time to think. There was a gap. A deliberate intentional gap. Long enough for her to stop. Long enough for her to change her mind. Long enough for this to end differently. 5 minutes to be exact. And she used every single one of those 5 minutes to go get that gun. At that point the only thing standing between this being a shooting and a homicide was Jihad surviving. He didn't. Despite officers performing CPR on the ground and medics working on him from the moment they arrived, Jihad T. Hughes was later pronounced dead at the hospital. What had started as a domestic dispute inside a family apartment was now a homicide investigation. And everything about how this scene was handled had to change immediately. Now remember this detail. Because it matters more than it seems right now. When officers first arrived, Landra was standing over her son, openly admitting she shot him. She pointed them to the gun. She answered their questions. On the surface she looked like someone who had nothing to hide. But watch what happens next. Because while Landra was being detained she still had no idea that Jihad had died. Investigators made a very deliberate choice to keep that information from her. And the reason is simple. The less she knew about the outcome, the more freely she would talk. And the more freely she talked, the harder it would be to adjust her story later when the full weight of the charges became clear. And talk she did. She asked every officer who came near her for an update. Hoping someone would slip and tell her something.
Hoping for a clear answer.
Excuse me, sir, did y'all take him out of ground yet?
Oh yes, ma'am, he's been transported. I don't know. I don't know anything else.
I didn't see the ambulance take him nowhere.
Yeah, they went that way. I'm telling you, Oscar, he's not there. They took him.
Okay.
So, and he was breathing when he left.
Okay.
So that's all I know.
Jesus.
If I know any more, I will tell you.
Please, Jesus. Oh God. Please. You said he was breathing.
Yeah, yes,
okay.
He was, yes.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Jesus, be with me. Jesus. I need you right now. It shouldn't have got like this. My God, it shouldn't have got like this.
While she
Now
knew
on the surface
officers
that looks like a mother in absolute agony. Desperate for news about her child. And maybe part of it was genuine. But now pay attention here. Because this is where the patrol vehicle camera becomes the most important piece of equipment at that entire scene. Landra knew officers had body cameras. She could see them. What she did not know was that the police vehicle itself was also recording. And that camera caught something that no amount of crying could explain away. When officers were nearby, she was distraught. Overwhelmed. Screaming. Praying out loud. The picture of a devastated mother. But the moment that car door closed and no one was directly engaging with her, that emotion disappeared. Not faded. Not slowed down. Disappeared. The crying stopped. The screaming stopped. The overwhelming grief just stopped. Now think about that for a second. A mother who genuinely believed she had just shot her own child would not have an off switch. Grief does not work that way. Pain does not work that way. But performance does. And it wasn't just the composure that gave her away. It was the story. Because from the moment officers arrived, Landra had a version of events ready to go. Fully formed. Consistent. And she made sure every single officer who came within earshot heard it. In her version, she was the victim. Jihad was the aggressor. And everything she did was in self-defense.
I came home from work. I own a business, and my son drove my car today. I asked him where he take my car to, because I got my car fixed this weekend, and he went answer me, and I said, I said, Jihad, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. He went answer me, and he don't like my boyfriend. He said, I'm going to kill you and your boyfriend. We were fighting in my living room. He never did that to me. And then I have a gun. He has a gun of mine too. Like, we always get into it. Like, I don't believe this is happening. Like, I can't even cry. Like, that's my child. Like, you don't know. God have mercy, man. What in the world is happening? Oh, God. God mercy.
She also kept complaining that her shoulder hurt from being slammed on the ground during the struggle inside. Asking officers to loosen her cuffs. Trying to generate sympathy anywhere she could find it.
Can you loosen up the top, these things a little bit, because my shoulder hurt from him slamming me on the ground. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Can you loosen up my shoulder hurt from him slamming me on the ground?
I'll say it one more time.
Can you loosen up the cuff? My shoulder hurt from him slamming me on
It'd be easier to put two on.
No, my shoulder, this right shoulder hurt.
But what if I put two on and then let your arms go a little bit?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going nowhere.
I know. Is it your right hand? It's tight?
It's my shoulder. He slammed me on the ground. My shoulder hurt, right?
But here is the thing. With two witnesses already giving statements that directly contradicted her account, officers weren't buying it. And when detectives arrived to formally process her and the crime scene, she smoothly transitioned right back into the role of the concerned, devastated mother. If you are still watching at this point, drop a comment saying I'm still here. Let's see who is really following this story. By the time Landra sat down for her formal interview at the station, the dynamic had shifted completely. This was no longer a temporary detention, and she knew it. So she did what people do when they feel the walls closing in. She started adding details. Expanding the story. Building a version of events that made the shooting sound not just understandable but justified. Now pay attention here. Because this is where her own words start working against her.
I came home early in between my two clients, and Jai used my car, and I asked him where he took my car at, because he took my car to the shop and left it there. And I said, well, how long did you leave it there, and what did they do? My car's not riding away. I just got my car fixed. So he wouldn't answer me. So I walked back to the room, and I went back into the living room where he was at, and he got up to grab his stuff, and I said, I'm talking to you, answer me. And so I threw a glass, but it went over to his head like a candle, but it went over his head. It didn't touch him. And then he grabbed me up and threw me in the living room, which was something he never, ever done. And we have had arguments, but he never, ever put his hands on me, ever. And I was trying to get him off of me. I was getting a knife, because I know, he's stronger than I am, way stronger than I know. And out of impulse, like I shouldn't. That's a lot. It was tussle in the kitchen. I went outside because he carried one of my other guns. I went outside and got a gun because I didn't want him to hurt me. But I'll take responsibility. That's my child. I don't want that to happen to any of my kids.
How did things go down outside?
He started walking up to me. I didn't know if he had a gun on him or not. Like, that's the gun that I gave to him. So, because where he worked at, but like, I didn't know. He kept walking up, and that's when I pointed it at him.
Now stop right there. Because according to Landra, Jihad came straight at her the moment she stepped outside. Aggressively. Threateningly. Giving her no choice but to defend herself. But according to her own daughters, he had packed up his belongings and was simply trying to leave. Those are not two slightly different perspectives on the same event. Those are two completely different stories. And only one of them is supported by the physical evidence.
Did you see a gun on him today?
But I don't know.
Did he threaten you with a gun? Did he say he was going to get his gun?
I didn't see it at all.
But did he never mentioned it? You just assumed because you gave him one a while back that he had.
When you came out, you saw him walking out. Did he have his bags with him?
Mm-hmm.
Did that make you mad or not? That he was leaving?
I didn't even think. I don't know. I don't even know. And I looked and I checked him. After it happened, I checked everything to see if he had a gun on me. He had his gun on me. I said, "Oh my God." I helped wrap him up in the cold.
Mm-hmm.
I thought.
So if you didn't see the gun, he didn't threaten you with a gun, why'd you pull the trigger? I mean, what were you thinking at that point?
That he was gonna keep going at it, keep coming after me, keep going.
Did he have his bags with him like he was leaving?
Yeah, he had his bag with me. It was like he was leaving. He was laughing.
So at that point, it seemed like he was leaving and the fight was over.
Mm-hmm.
No?
Were you just really mad by that point?
No, I wasn't mad.
Now pay attention here. Because even inside Landra's own version of events, the fight was already over by the time she went to that car. She admitted Jihad had his bags. She admitted he was leaving. She admitted she did not see a gun on him. She admitted he never threatened her with one. So the question detectives kept coming back to was simple. If the fight was over and he was leaving, why did you go get the gun? Faced with the logic of her own words, she started struggling to hold the story together.
How many times did you fire?
Only once.
How close do you think you were?
I don't know how close I was. Probably between me and you.
So fairly close.
Mm-hmm.
Not from like across the parking lot. Or...
Mm-mm.
And what did you say he was doing when you shot him?
He was walking towards me. He was like, what did he say? He was walking towards me. He said something to me. I want to say, he said, "You're not going to do anything." And then...
Were you pointing the gun at him at that point?
Mm-mm.
Did you have it out?
I had it in my hand.
In the
now
heat
here
of the
is where
moment,
Landra made a mistake that no amount of storytelling could fix. In the heat of that interview room, she forgot one critical thing. Forensics does not care about your version of events. Forensics tells you exactly what happened based on the physical evidence left behind. And the physical evidence in this case was unambiguous. Jihad was shot in his back. Not his chest. Not his side. His back. Meaning at the moment that trigger was pulled, he was not walking toward her. He was walking away. He was leaving. Exactly like his sister said. Exactly like his own bag suggested. He was done. He was going. And she shot him in the back as he walked away. But locked inside that interview room, Landra still believed this came down to her word against his. What she had completely forgotten in all of her calculations was that the two most powerful witnesses in this entire case were not strangers. They were not neighbors. They were not bystanders who caught a glimpse of something. They were her own daughters.
Why would the girl say that you were the aggressor with the knife in the house and he was trying to get it away from you? I mean, and like I said, we interviewed them separately. They didn't have a chance.
I'm not going to switch it up.
Yeah, they didn't have a chance to talk.
I didn't want him to be hitting on me. I didn't want him to be choking me. I didn't want him to be slamming me. So that's why I got a knife. Because he's big. Look how big he is compared to me. Look how muscle he is compared to me.
They said you pulled the earphones out of his head. Did you do that? He had some kind of earphones in his head.
Because he wasn't listening to you or paying attention to you.
That's not true. I grabbed him, but he grabbed me, and I grabbed him because, you know, like you coming at me, I'm gonna grab you. You're a man, you coming at me, I'm gonna grab you by your face to try to, you know, I can't tussle with you. That's
well, they said that he was ignoring you with his ear pods in.
That's not true.
He snatched them out of his ear.
They wasn't even there when they first started.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying.
It's okay.
That's what they're telling us, so we can go on as what
It's
you know.
okay.
They didn't have a chance to get a story together.
I didn't say they did. It's okay. They wasn't in their rooms when they first started, but it's okay.
Well, they did say they saw some of it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, clearly they did, because they told us about the pan with the grease. They told us about, you know, the knife, and I mean, so they saw a big chunk of what went down.
Mm-hmm.
So they did not see anything.
I didn't say they did.
Right. So we're just trying to get a total picture of, you know, what they're telling us versus, you know, what your recollection is.
She tried to chip away at their credibility.
She tried every angle she could find to chip away at their credibility. But it didn't work. And here is why it didn't work. Zamaya and Janisha had been separated before police ever spoke with them. There was no phone call between them. No chance to coordinate. No opportunity to align their accounts. And yet independently they landed on the exact same details. The knife. The grease pan. The hot oil. The locked door. The gun in the car. Two people cannot independently invent the same specific details. That is not how memory works. That is not how lying works. Their stories matched because they were telling the truth. And once detectives had walked Landra through every single contradiction, every inconsistency, every place where the evidence and the witnesses and her own words collapsed on top of each other, there was only one thing left to do. Answer the question she had been asking since the moment she was detained.
All day.
I will tell you, unfortunately, your son did not make it.
Oh.
I'm so sorry.
What?
They worked on him for at least close to an hour. That he didn't survive his injuries.
Take me. You can take me. I don't deserve that. He didn't either. Yo.
Well, I think you need to do his name justice, and I know that that's not true that he was attacked.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Both
But it's
your
okay.
girls.
It's okay.
No, I want you to tell the truth. I only want the truth. I don't want you to say something just because it's not true, but
I don't have to lie. I don't have to lie. I don't have to lie. I'm not gonna say nothing that's not true. Like, I had to live with this. You know what I'm saying?
I know. But I think you're angry, though. I think you're angry because we all get angry at times. I mean, it's like we both have kids. We know how frustrating it is to try to get through. But I think, unfortunately, that you probably were angry and the pressure probably got to you.
Yeah. But I'm so sorry, y'all.
She never fully admitted it out loud. But everything about this case pointed to exactly that. Landra snapped. And by the time the reality of what she had done broke through whatever justification she had built in her own mind, it was already far too late. When the full weight of it finally hit her, she broke down completely.
Have mercy. You might as well just take my life from me. Oh, God. Oh. Jesus, have mercy on me. Forgive me. What? Forgive me, God.
On February 29, 2024, Landra Williams was formally indicted on murder charges. Her attorney announced she would plead not guilty and pursue a mental health evaluation, making clear she was not admitting guilt in court. Not yet. That position did not last. On August 5th, 2024, just days before her scheduled trial was set to begin, Landra Williams accepted a plea deal. She pleaded guilty to murder and assault. And she was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 18 years. Jihad T. Hughes was 21 years old. He walked outside that afternoon believing the worst was already over. Believing his mother's words when she said she wasn't going to do anything to him. Believing that grabbing his bags and leaving was enough to end it. And his two sisters. The ones who locked that door. Who called 911. Who held each other outside while their brother bled on the ground. They told the truth when it mattered most. Even when telling the truth meant testifying against the woman who raised them. That is not a small thing. That is everything. If this story hit you in a way you weren't expecting, make sure you like this video and subscribe to Cold Case Unearthed. Every like, every comment and every subscriber tells the algorithm this story deserves to be seen. We are just getting started and there is a lot more where this came from.